Hi everyone, my name is Michi. Thanks for watching this video. On this channel, I'm gonna explore Japan not as like a destination for the trip and the travel, but like it can be like the new lens to see our life differently. I don't want to say, Japan culture is the best and awesome, those kind of thing, To be honest, like I was born and raised in Japan for 29 years. But after like moving to the Europe, I lived in the Netherlands and now I'm living in the UK. And throughout this, the experience, I got like a new lesson. So which is Japan is not the best anymore inside myself, Of course, I feel the pride like Japanese culture as a one Japanese person, but that doesn't mean Japan is the best, awesome, something. I like Japan, of course, but each country has each great culture, the system, and experience, of course. So, but as a one Japanese person, I would think what I can do for the world is to show like a Japanese perspective, like to see your life differently. Today, I want to choose the one topic as agenda, so which is why do Japanese people are good at keeping the place so clean? By the way, are you a fan of the football? Are you watching the World Soccer game in 2026? Yeah, I was watching. Yeah, because last Sunday we lose the game to the Brazil. Yeah, I'm really the amateur for football, but but to such like a person like me, I understand so how strong the Brazil is, and I'm not a big fan for the football in the first place, but I try to jump into like the pub and at the center of the London because I heard like from my British friends that while you're in the UK, you should have like experience of like watching the football or like a tennis as a public situation. It must be really good, it must be a great and excited and unique experience in your life. So I have never watched the sports game like at the pub, so I just tried it. It was so nice, Unfortunately, like we lose to the Brazil team at the last minutes. And like checking, these kind of news, so like the Brazil and then like Japan, the soccer team and the score and result, whatever, like it happened to that I saw one unique news. So which is like Japanese supporter clean up the stadium after the game. Last World Cup, like 4 years ago, like in 2022, I saw the same kind of news. Japanese supporter like they cleaned up everything around their seat. And actually, as a one Japanese person, I was not like the shocked and surprised too much because if they are Japanese, they do. Once I check this kind of news, it's easily like to find a lot of like the article and the news like to give like a compliment to like a Japanese supporter at the stadium. But it's interesting because I could find the completely like opposite idea. So which is they are saying it's like a too much performance. Yeah. They are saying like it's like a too exaggerated performance, Yeah, like to me, I think like it's worth the listening. Yeah, because like to some people, that's the performance by like the Japanese supporter looks really like the beautiful and great, but to other person, it doesn't. That makes me feel like really interesting. To be honest, I can understand what they mean. Yeah, I'm not sure about like full story and how come they do that. Like the Japanese supporter cleaning up the stadium. I can guess like there was the reason and like a background, but they are using like a plastic, like a brewed back like this, like to clean up the stadium after the game, right? So they're using that blue plastic, the back, like to cheer the Japanese team, and then they use it like to clean up the table. Like it seemed that like they already prepare for cleaning up, not as a like a result. In advance, they prepared for like cleaning up the stadium. I think that makes some people feel like it's really the performance because they prepare for everything before the game. I know how they feel that way. Yeah, actually, yeah. But either way, if you have ever been to Japan, it's easy to understand like how beautiful and how clean Japan is. I would think no one can deny it. It's almost truth, I guess, But why is that? Why do Japanese people keep cleaning the environment at all? The first famous like quote is education system. As I said, I was born and raised in Japan, and I really understand what it looks like. Yeah, in Japan, like from elementary school to the end of the high school, we students are supposed to clean up everything on our own. I'm not talking about only a table and a chair. No, it's not just like everything means like not only the floor and like the whiteboard, but also like a toilet and hallway in the school, So literally, like we are supposed to clean up like every facilities on our own. That education, they continue for almost like the 12 years from the start of elementary school to the end of the high school. It's totally like the 12 years. And then during such like the long, the period, we are naturally turn to the person and become the person like who tend to think we have to clean up the environment on our own. I heard before, like example, like the school in the US or the other country, like the school, the hire like a cleaner to clean up, like to make the school clean. But in Japan, it's like opposite. Students have that responsibility, I think it's really the famous like the story and explanation. I want to focus on another thing, so which is one phrase is used often like at the school or said by our parents. So which is you have to think about the next person. Okay, let me explain about it. That means when you use some like tools or like a facility, you have to think about next person who will use that tool and the facilities. We are often said and then taught that lesson at school or by parents. So actually, we have like a unique proverb to express that spirit. So first, I'm gonna say that in Japanese, 立つ鳥、後を濁さず. Translated literally, the bird which is about to fly to somewhere is not like supposed to make the condition and environment the mess. I found like English phrases, so which is leave things in good order. It's really the simple. Yeah, leave things in good order. Yeah, I think it's almost the same meaning, Anyway, like we have such like specific and unique proverb to express our spirits. We are like, taught and used that phrase in many times when we were the children. Actually, I still have such like, the spirit in my heart. Yeah, I think like to think about like next person who will use that space, facility, and like a tool. It's good like the attitude to someone else. I think that spirit makes the city in Japan look clean. At this time, like in the stadium World Cup, that is got broadcast, the news, that make like some people feel it's, like a performance, Plus, I don't want to say we Japanese people are good at cleaning up the private space, for example, inside our room. Okay, let me check my room, okay? No, but anyway, I will not like talk about like unique concept like today, like uchi to soto. It's really like unique the concept of Japan. I'm gonna take it another video. But okay, in short, uchi means like really like a private space, and soto means like not private, but it's not just like outside. For example, like we change our attitude and performance when we are inside or like not inside. But it can be like quite a bit complicated, and it takes so long to explain it. So I'm gonna explain it another video, okay? But my point is like we Japanese people have the spirit to care about like the private space, share the space, like I said at another video on this channel. So how do you feel about that news which announced that like this Japanese supporter is too much performance and exaggerate? Let me know your opinion in the comment. Thanks for watching today. I'm already excited about seeing you in the next video. So see you soon.